All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else? And in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Fighter Showcase that just happened yesterday as of the recording of this video. For those of you guys that don't know, I like to cover the different live streams that happen, the monthly live streams that Intrepid does. And this month's topic is one of the ones that I have been most interested in since I started covering Ashes. We all have our specific play styles we want to play when we get into a game. And my play style that I like to play is I like to be a melee brawler. I want to be an in-your-face, high damage build, basically just pummeling you into oblivion. That's my goal. And so as far as all the archetypes go, Fighter fits that pretty well. And I've been looking forward to see what the Fighter archetype is going to be. But because this is one of the main archetypes that I'm most interested in, it's also going to be one of the archetypes that I am most critical about. I have a vision for what I think a melee brawler should be. I want to see that played in my favorite playstyle. And so I was going into this live stream with a lot of expectations. I did a live stream the day before, a solo live stream, and I kind of talked to the community. I showed my perspective, and this is before the live stream even came out. It's on my channel if you want to check it out. But I talked about things that I was looking forward to, I was hoping to see for the Fighter archetype. And I narrowed it down to 3 things. Number 1, I wanted to see how gap closers were going to work for the Fighter. And when they showed the Ranger, we will get to the Fighter here in a minute, but this is important for this. When they showed the Ranger, they showed a lot of acrobatic abilities. The Ranger is a highly mobile class with the capabilities to bounce around all over the place and stay out of range while they're raining arrows down on your face. In order to counter that, you need to have other classes that have the ability to close that distance in order to take out the Ranger. So oftentimes in other games that I've played, sometimes range can be extremely dominant because they have too much escapability, which then allows them to stack even more damage on other classes, and it becomes like a very oppressive game to play where everybody's stacked into a range archetype for that reason. Those aren't fun. You want to have a balance. You want to have a give take. You want to have a situation to where if a Ranger plays well, they have the tools and abilities to be able to escape. And if a Fighter plays well, they have the abilities to close the distance and get that Ranger in their face to just dish out punishment. And so I was excited to see what the gap closers are. Intrepid has announced a few months ago that Fighters were going to have the most gap closers out of any archetype in the game for this very reason. And so I wanted to see what they were. Number 2, I was very interested in hearing more about momentum. Momentum has only been discussed on the side, much like Cleric's Conviction. You do things as a fighter, and if you activate certain skills at different points in time, it basically raises your combat efficacy. You get a resource built that you can then use to make your fighter more powerful. And so I was very curious to see how this momentum was going to work. Steven even compared it to like the Juggernaut on the battlefield, where the more you fight, the more you're in the battle, the more your bloodlust rages, and you hit harder and you stay in the fight longer, and these sorts of things, which I think is how I envision a fighter to be. And so I wanted to see them go into more detail about that specific aspect. And then the third thing, I wanted to see the animations cleaned up. Now, about a little over a year and a half ago, Intrepid came out with the Melee Combat Showcase, which isn't the Fighter Showcase, but it was Melee Combat. And they showed where they were at with Melee Combat for Ashes of Creation, and it was very good. Since then, it has been one of my favorite live streams that I've ever seen. I felt like they did a really good job of highlighting the feel of how different weapons are supposed to be, from daggers to greatswords, and they showed a dash ability and these sorts of things. And so it's always been my lean back on what melee combat is going to look like. But that was a year and a half ago, and so going off of what we saw from the Mage, where the Mage was released in July, and then we had another live stream with the Mage in February, we saw animations and abilities get markedly better over a 7-month period. And with a year and a half, I was very curious. How much has Intrepid cooked in this department? I want to see more. And so those were the 3 things I went into it about. Nice Gaming and we decided to watch the Fighter Showcase live on our Voices of Era podcast yesterday, and you guys got to see our real reaction. Also on this channel, also on Nice Gaming's channel. Feel free to check it out. And they hit every single benchmark I asked for. Within like the first 5 to 10 minutes, they had covered different animations. They had also showcased what momentum is, and they were impressive. They were impressive. One of the animations that they had for the melee fighter showcase was they had this big hammer that came down and hit an area, and I just thought it looked a little bit too clunky. I didn't think it looked right, and they changed the animation drastically. They overhauled it, and I think it looks a lot better. Now, all this is pre-alpha 2. Obviously, they're going to keep working, and they're going to keep improving and iterating on these things, but they added so many good skills and animations. They definitely hit it out of the park from the animation department. They also went above and beyond for how the fighter kit is going to work. Not only did they show the gap closers, they showed a long range, a 30-meter gap closer, which is quite large. That is a huge gap closer. They showed a smaller gap closer, and then they showed a gap closer that you can aim and land in an area. And I haven't seen this type of gap closer used on any game I've played before. All the gap closers I've used have required you to lock onto a specific opponent and then gap close to that specific person. This one allows you to, if you're fighting 5 people and you're getting focused, you can gap close to a tree and maybe line of sight behind a tree or something like that, or over out of harm's way. Or you see your healer getting piled on, you can gap close into the pile of people. This is a great addition, and once again improves the skill gap. It makes another gap closer for the fighter showcase without making it the exact same as everything else, but with just like a little animation change on top of it. So I thought the animations, they hit out of the park. I even tried to be critical on the live stream and say that I thought some of the animations were a little slow. I thought that when I was first watching them that they looked a little bit on the slow side, and I wanted them to speed up the greatsword swing. And then they showed that they actually have built-in passives based on what you spec into to where you can increase your attack speed, basically rendering me an idiot. And so I had my question. I was like, hey, maybe this should be faster. They're like, yeah, we already got you. We got this built into a specific stance that you can run in order, if you want this attack speed, you can actually do this, which is a great way to go about doing it. And I stand corrected. So even when I try to be critical about something, they already had an answer later on in the live stream for it. So they covered the gap closers. The animations were really good. They went into discussion on momentum, and yeah, momentum was really good. We got to see, they did more in-depth discussions about how momentum can increase your attack speed. It can reduce snares and roots on you, which is also it's very important for a melee-based brawler. Really important to have. Now, obviously, guys, these things will need to be fleshed out. They'll need to be balanced. They will need to be made sure that they're not overpowering or anything like that. But the fact that the fighter has skills in its toolkit to where they can close the distance, they can get up on you, they can dish damage, is a very, very nice toolkit to have. When you build momentum, you gain this attack speed and attack damage and reduction in snares and these sorts of things. All this just builds to make what I view a fighter should be. For me, I showed you guys what my expectations were for the live stream. And then as we were watching the live stream, they met every single one and then some. And so I can't really be critical. The only thing I can be critical about for the entire live stream is I just want to say that Nice and I are better voice actors than Steven Sharif and the goblins that they had impersonating. And I have a clip for you guys.
Okay, here's your motivation.
Okay.
You're in Vienna, You're 8 years old. Let's say male. I'd say that's a male silhouette. And what else? That's it. You're writing a long lost family member, your papa. And get ready, chat. You got this, else. And action.
Papa, Mama says we won't be able to visit anymore after we leave through the portal. Didn't feel right to leave you alone, so I'm leaving you, my bravest toy soldier, to help you and the others here fight off the demons coming for us. I'm getting too old for toys anyways. Love always, Troy.
I'm mad that was actually good. Papa was hilarious when you came out of nowhere with that voice, but the rest was surprisingly really good. I ain't gonna lie.
I think I found it like in mid-reading.
Yeah, I was laughing. I was like, oh, wait. Oh, he's actually doing good. It's not fun anymore.
Papa. Oh, no, wait, no. Oh, it's Papa. Mama says we won't be able to...
Steven versus Else. Let's see who does it better.
Okay, you guys be honest. Be honest. Tell me if I beat Steven, okay?
All right.
I won't.
Here we go.
We got a 1v1 here.
Steven versus Else duel. Go.
...visit anymore. After we've through the portal... Oh shit, I messed that up.
Yes, I win!
Oh. I should have read this before.
C-.
I know, I'm sorry. Okay, wait. Papa! Mama says we won't be able to visit anymore after we leave through the portal. Didn't feel right to leave you alone, so I'm leaving you my bravest toy soldier. Oh, that was the toy soldier piece we found. To help you and the others here fight off the demons coming for us. I hate to tell you, kid, I don't think that toy soldier's gonna help. I'm getting too old for toys. I know. His name is Troy. Oh, I love always Troy.
We have respawns here.
The word Og is written in blood across the back of the paper 4 distinct times. Sounds interesting. Oh.
Everybody in chat says else one.
Player?
Muffmaw Flayer. Oh,
Yeah, he's dead though.
Those sound effects on the goblins are legit.
Can you do a goblin sound nice?
I can.
Do you have it in you?
Something like that.
Wow. That was really good. That was really good. I'm not even joking. So all I can say is if you guys want nice to play the voice of a goblin, he's your man. If you want me to pretend to be a small 8-year-old boy writing a letter to his father and gifting him a toy to help him fight monsters in the future, I think I'm better. I think I'm better. And so those are my critiques. Those are my critiques, Steven, Intrepid. You got a couple voice actors over here. I can't even say it seriously. No, it's all good fun, guys. Regardless, my point is this is the best live stream that Intrepid's ever done. Ash Alpha 2 is around the corner, and yeah, the fighter looks amazing. The fighter looks really good. They're heading in the right direction. And even when I want to be critical about an archetype that I'm really interested in and I have my own vision for what they should be, they hit it out of the park. They hit it out of the park. And so, yeah, I'm going to end this video here. If you guys have any questions or comments, please provide it in the section below. Let me know what you thought of the fighter. Let me know what you wanted to see. Let me know if you agree or disagree or whatever in between. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I'll catch you in the next one.